future generations. A new world order.
George Bush has invoked a new world order without enunciating a new American purpose.
Setting in motion, in effect, a secret government.
How would the country carry on if its capital were obliterated, its leadership wiped out in an instant? They have been worrying about just that. And as CBS's David Martin reports, they have created an extensive shadow government.
Because I got a couple of videos here that are, well, the audios we're going to extract to play on the air, obviously. Some serious problems just hitting right here in the United States that aren't really being talked about. But let's recap real quick.
We went over the fact that NSA, National Security Agency, the most secret agency they claim, one of them, was literally involved in the development of Windows 7. Now, we're not talking like, hey, send us a few emails when you guys get the software done. We want to know what you're up to. No, they were developing it with Windows.
Working hand in hand.
Working hand in hand.
In conjunction.
So literally.
Bipartisanship.
Right. And remember, what is Windows 7? It's the first software that communicates wirelessly. So you walk in a room, your cell phone's picked up by your little touchscreen computer in the room, and all of a sudden the photos that you take on your cell phone show up on the desktop there.
How convenient.
All the phones, for all the phone numbers, your whole directory, you want to, I mean, this is, the Windows 7 was built to communicate.
Isn't modern technology wonderful? And
they're going to have total access over all that information, including locations, everything. Just think about that. Think about it. Very simple software.
It's for our safety.
Right.
It's for our security.
It's for knowing, you know, what you need to buy at the grocery store next. That's what they say. You know, we want to be able to go to a fridge and look inside a fridge and know what's in there and have the computer tell you what you need to get. Yeah. You know what it's for? They're monitoring everything you buy, everything you eat, how much cash you withdraw at the ATM, your locations,
cradle to grave enslavement.
Everything. Everything you do, you will be watched. And that's why the NSA was working hand in hand with Windows. Don't listen to anyone else. They were doing it to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile admitted that the staff stole personal records and sold it to the private sector.
Times are tough. We got to make a nickel somehow.
Yeah, well,
I'm being the devil's advocate because a lot of people, you know, that's really, you know, Jonathan, so what? A couple staffers stole some data and sold it. What's the big deal?
It's criminal. Well,
I'm sorry. Never let the facts get in the way of your stories here. It's criminal. That's right.
Well, here's the key point. Remember, Christopher Graham said brokers had sold the data to other phone firms who then cold called the customers as their contracts were due to expire, and there was manipulation in convincing people, you know, you're already with us, yada, 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 just sign, just pay here, here's where you pay. Well, I'd love to do that. If I owned a roofing business and I had all the people whose roofs are about to go, and I called them and said, oh, you're already with us. Just let me send you the bill, and you're set to go. Well, how'd you get mine? Oh, you're already with me. You know how illegal that is? If I pretended to be the provider, it's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal. It's criminal. They got away with it. CIA secret prison, another one.
Another one.
Was discovered.
Not the first. Just one of many now, but we've discovered not a big deal. Move along.
And I still have people telling me that
I'm crazy. Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along.
The best is when I tell people there's secret CIA prisons, they're going, well, if it's a secret, how do you know about it? Folks, they told us we have prisons that are operating, but we can't tell you where they are because it's a secret. They said they're secret prisons. It's not a secret that they're secret prisons. It's where they are. When we come back from this break, we're going to tell you about the H1N1 vaccine reaction, the latest victim, how he's got Guillain-Barré syndrome. Gee, just like 1976 swine flu outbreak, like we didn't see this coming.
North America, 1 hour of the New World Order report in the can, 2 hours yet to come. Don't go anywhere. Why should I talk? You give your take on what I think is some rather worrisome information.
Personally, I think it's a mess. You know, I think that you know, these vaccines, they're causing adverse reactions. They're all over the place. You know, it's not a few isolated incidents. It's Thousands, okay? There's thousands every year reported. These people settle out of court. They get money from the government for adverse reactions. This is just another example of the same old that we keep hearing about. These vaccines come out. We know that they have adverse reaction rates. They don't, first of all, they don't test them in a respectable manner to look for everything that it might do, because let's face it, folks, the swine flu, the H1N1 just came out, and then they released the vaccine. It wasn't on the market. The vaccine wasn't on the market long enough to know what the long-term effects are. So, of course we don't know what this thing's going to do. Would you take a drug that they just developed in a couple of weeks? Of course not.
We still haven't even talked about Baxter Laboratories again, what's going on in the Ukraine and all of that. And I also, I don't want to say that this is a direct link, but this is just another link in the chain of these very, very alarming stories when it comes to H1N1.
Right.
And
Baxter Labs earlier this year in February got caught sending out vaccines with live avian flu in them. Not just, now remember folks, not the vaccine with the live virus.
No, the live virus on its own.
Yeah, just the virus.
Marked as vaccine.
Exactly. So
nice
anyone
day.
taking that vaccine, oops, sorry, you just got avian bird flu. And you know how we discovered it? A lab tech. It wasn't because it was being tested before it went out. It wasn't. It got discovered by an accident. Literally, by an accident. By a guy who just so happened to discover this, raises the red flags, the sirens going off, and then they recall it. Now, had that gone out, it would have been a huge, huge deal. Now, all of a sudden, in Ukraine, right next to Baxter's labs, we have the pneumonic plague outbreak. Just, it's a coincidence, really. That's what they say it is. Even though planes were forced to land in Nigeria and in India for spraying chemical agents. We reported that last week on the show. We reported how Ukraine was a part of an Interpol exercise that was preparing a pneumonic outbreak. What a coincidence. A month before the outbreak of pneumonic plague. I mean, look, you can go down, you can go story by story by story by story. You can go literally in a timeline and see a preparation.
Or its sequence, even though now the World Health Organization over there in the Ukraine, they can't get the health sequencing of the flu outbreak there. We can see the sequence of events and how they're unfolding.
That's right.
Just through these little, these irresponsible, pesky blog sites. WhiteHouse.gov, Homeland Security.
Right,
this isn't funny.
ABC News.
Yeah.
Check the sources, folks. I'm not making this up. This stuff's credible.
North America, you deem it credible or not. We're going to the bottom of the hour in the news. Hey, you get the news when you need it and when you want it.